Welcome back to the APP Women's Open presented by the James. Quarterfinals action of women's doubles split age happening right now from Columbus, Ohio. And you're taking a look at one of the best players here on the APP Tour, Susanna Barr, 46 years old, out of Boise, Idaho, an Army veteran. And my goodness, does she know how to rack up medals. Here on the APP Tour, she is partnered with Sherry Quarter here for this event in Columbus, taking on Madalina Grigoriu and Alka Strippoli. Dom, what have you liked so far about seeing the way Susanna and Sherry have played together here?
Well, they're very familiar with each other. Good friends off the court, too. Sherry, one of the nicest senior pro ladies out there, but one of the most vicious between the lines. Sherry, big left-handed forehand. She will jump in front of Susanna and take that. That's one of the best things about Sherry Quarter is she plays more or less like an open pro player. She's playing with pace. She wants to come in and use that big forehand. Susanna, when she's playing with Sherry, she sets her up nicely. But again, both of them, they play that even kind of distribution.
And across from the net from them, you have Alka Strippoli, 51 years old, out of Ocean Ridge, Florida, and her partner, Madalina Grigoriu. So what do you think is going to be the key, Chad, for this duo if they want to take down Susanna and Sherry?
Well, most of the time we see Gregorio on the singles court. She's a very good singles player. She has that tennis background. She's going to come in. She's going to insert a lot of pace, a lot of power, still developing that doubles game. Strippoli, haven't seen a whole lot of as far as on the senior pro side, but if they are going to stand a chance against Barr and Quarter, they really need to set the pace. They need to set the tone, put the pressure on. You know, let's be honest, Barr is going to throw up the offensive lobs. More than likely, it's going to be targeted over the senior pro. So Gregorio is going to have to cover a lot of court.
Susanna Barr, one of the best lobbers in the game of pickleball, and it is a shot that her opponents hate to see coming. That one left just a little bit short off the paddle of Quarter.
Well, it's a good spot there from Strippoli as she went to Susanna Barr twice and then pulls that forehand roll right at the left foot of Quarter. Good spot. There's that forehand step in from Quarter right there. And again, she's going to read that and step in and want to take that.
Well, and Quarter's one of those players that has a lot of experience in the pro split age. She's won a couple of gold medals before in other tournaments in this event. Oh, just wide. Caught the tape and just pushed it a little bit wide.
That doesn't catch tape. That's clean winner.
Yeah, it's clean winner. And that's probably what we're going to see with Strippoli. She's going to take a couple of balls down the line, just like the first point we saw. Try to get Quarter to hug middle.
That time a great spot off the paddle of Strippoli. Again, though, we saw Quarter step into the middle on that last play. So keep an eye for that strategy as this match develops. Barr goes big and it gets a little love off the tape.
I thought that hit the tape and went down.
So did I.
Was below the, it was the bottom of the net cord.
I was about to say missed opportunity.
Yeah.
So, and what I saw earlier the other day when these two practiced, Quarter and Barr, is Barr was like, if they return to me, I'm dropping. Sherry, crash. Just go. And you're seeing it right here as Quarter steps in on the drop.
Another time, Susanna Barr.
She's hitting the bottom of the net cord and it's rolling up and over. But one thing that we have seen a couple of times, and it was in the previous point, we're seeing a lot of that right armpit spot for the younger pros going against the senior pros. That's going to be a spot all day long because the senior pros aren't used to the pace coming from that left side, so they're not sliding as much as what we would see in the younger pro division.
She's got to stop right there. Strippoli gets caught trying to get to the kitchen line, but as she's hitting that ball, she's moving. She's got to set her feet right there. I think if she sets her feet, she's fine.
Strippoli just rushing through that roll. You see her moving through contact, so never fully gets extension, just drops down in the bottom of the net.
Oh, she tried to hit it.
Quarter with a little too much mustard on that one.
Touched her hair.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
You know what?
Yeah, you saw it go up.
It did, but again, it's a great gesture, right? Like, you could easily be like, it didn't touch me.
Yeah, great sportsmanship there shown by Strippoli.
There.
As Chad's making the motion that this would be the time he would call for a timeout. They do. On the court, it's a 6-1 lead for Barr and Quarter. And right now, we've really seen this duo sort of tap into what you said they were going to, Dom, which is that they have played before, so they've got familiarity, and they're just executing the game plan that they know works so well for them.
Yeah, they love the shake and bake. And again, it's for me, if I'm playing against them, I'm not returning the ball to Susanna. I'm not letting Barr touch a third. She has a great aggressive third shot, and Quarter's aggressive coming up. If you flip that and go to Quarter, you're probably going to get more of a third shot drive, although Quarter does have a good heavy drop. But on the flip side, you're not going to get Barr crashing as hard. She's not going to crash as hard as Quarter is right here. So again, if I am Grigoriu and Strippoli right now, my returns have to go to Sherry Quarter right now. I got to change this up. They're going too much to Barr on the thirds.
Sherry Quarter with the serve. Oh,
nice.
Great spot there. Grigoriu finds the tape on the sideline.
One thing I would say here is that Gregorio and Strippoli are allowing Quarter and Barr to dictate the pace of play. They either have to take... Oh, another one.
Are you serious?
That is three for three.
They either have to take the initiative and kind of put a little bit of pressure on, know that Quarter and Barr are going to come in and be aggressive and try to answer it, or try to find the feet. They're just giving these dead balls back right now.
It's a 7-0 run right now for Barr and Quarter. Just misses. Does Barr?
But they go the third to Quarter right there, and it changed things up. It changed the pace of the point. You had Barr pulling the trigger right there instead of Quarter. I like that scenario for Gregorio and Strippoli.
Yeah, big serve there from Gregorio, and Barr trying to uncoil from the stack.
2-7-1.
Ends the 7-0 run from Barr and Quarter.
Nice drop down the line. And we see the Quarter and Barr didn't stack there, so little indecision for Quarter as she was coming forward.
Oh, cross-court winner there.
Second serve.
Beautiful.
Just huge angle,
Yeah,
right?
great angle taken there by Quarter.
Well, she's using her height, right, to take advantage of that.
You know, it's something that I don't have a lot of experience in, taking advantage of my height. At 5'4", it's just like not a strategy in any sport that I've ever been able to.
Great hands there from Strippoli. She handled everything right through transition. Come out on top. Inch a little closer here.
Again with the angle. Great get.
Oh, that's impatience right there. Quarter trying to create something that wasn't there. Good defense there for Barr, getting that around the post back.
5-7-2.
Great around the post, too. That time Strippoli just can't get it back over the net, so Barr and Quarter get the ball back, but that was 4 straight points there put together by Strippoli and Grigoriu to get themselves back in this first game. Best 2 out of 3 to 11 here at the APP Women's Open, presented by the James. Second serve coming in here for Quarter.
Oh, defense.
Oh, Gregorio leaving that one just short, but a well-played point by both teams.
Such good defense. As Chad and I are like, oh, that point right there is on the edge of our seat.
Yeah, Gregorio just trying to really cut that last ball hard. She cut the swing off, but excellent job staying in that point. Oh.
That time Grigoriu setting a little bit of pace there, has Quarter all over the court before the ball goes out of bounds. So it's a side out.
Still think it's a good hold there for Gregorio and Strippoli, only giving up 1 point right there. Get the serve back.
Trailing by 3 here in this first game. Barr goes for everything and pushes that ball into the net. She was 3 for 3 in getting help from the net, but that time
that one didn't catch
low.
any of the white. But that was exactly your point there. She went for everything, a little too much backswing, trying to really end that point. Oh, and again.
Oh, wow.
All right, so you got 2 players on the court that are just going to throw up offensive love. Sherry Quarter, very good spots there. Throws it up over Strippoli. Strippoli had gone back, wasn't anticipating that one there. And you see Gregorio not really reading the offensive lob either.
6-8-2.
Tons of topspin on that lob from Quarter, too.
That time, Susanna Barr put the perfect pace, perfect angle for the overhead winner.
Yeah, Strippoli has to continue taking those drops cross court. She's going down the line on those two. Too easy for Barr to reach in, take the ball out of the air on that initial third, hitting her forward, putting pressure on.
Another lob there, Quarter, great placement in the corner, change of pace, that was filthy.
All of a sudden now you've seen some success from it. So now it's been Quarter who's thrown up the lob, not Barr. Look for Barr to hit one here.
But there's been too many balls into the middle here where Quarter's able to hit that long side of the court. Either need to pull Quarter out wide to that backhand side, push back middle, so now it's going to force her to have to flick that across, or just be a little bit more aggressive into the body.
There's that heavy drop from Quarter right there too, right? We talked about her driving the ball, but she's got a nice little forehand roll, heavy drop that she gets the pop up, able to put that ball nice and wide.
Game point opportunity here for Barr and Quarter. And they get it done. Susanna Barr and Sherry Quarter take game 1 here in our best 2 out of 3 in women's doubles at the APP Women's Open presented by the James. Take another look.
I like Sherry Quarter coming over and putting pressure on, right? She's got that, like you're demonstrating, Chad, the forehand roll right there, and she puts it right at the feet of Strippoli.
Well, just an easier spot for her to hit compared to the backhand there for Barr.
So we'll have game 2 coming up next here at the APP Women's Open presented by the James from Columbus, Ohio.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour.
Check.
A work of art that's only possible because Greg is already meeting all these same people at AARP volunteer and community events. They'll keep Greg active, involved, and mischievous, and help make sure his happiness lives as long as he does. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
My name is Chef Jamoke Jackson. I'm here with Vlasic Pickles, and I'm putting the pickle back in pickleball. In pickleball, a chop is a slice from high to low to put a backspin on the pickleball. I'm chopping up Vlasic Pickles to make this sweet and savory chopped pickle salad. Feta cheese, Kalamata olives, olive oil, red wine vinegar, lemon juice, sugar, black pepper, toss to mix. Sweet, heat, and full of flavor.
The APP is sponsored by Rainstorm, clean, plant-based energy. Sports Imports, official net provider of the APP Women's Open. And Meyer. Welcome back to the APP Women's Open presented by the James. Game 1 goes the way of Susanna Barr and Sherry Quarter. Chance here for Madalena Gregorio and Alka Strippoli to get back in this match. We're in the quarterfinals round. And they've got the point here.
Well, they started game 1 the same way.
Exactly.
Let's hope that they don't allow Barr and Quarter to make that big run.
Gregorio and Strippoli started game 1 with a 1-0 lead. And then it was Barr and Quarter who went on a 7-0 run to get themselves a massive lead.
But see, right there, it was a better ball. It was a wider ball from Strippoli to Quarter. Quarter tries to throw up that offensive lob, but because it's wider, it leaves that middle ball so Gregorio can go back easier and get it. That put them in a better position to stay in that point and eventually take it.
Barr going above her head.
Well, scorpion action from a standstill straight up position.
0-1-1.
Oh, nobody home.
No communication.
Yeah.
No communication right there. You saw Strippoli trying to look back, find out where Gregorio was, whether they're going to switch or whether they're going to stay. That's a little bit of the unfamiliarity between partners.
Good return right there.
Great return off the paddle of Strippoli. Quarter leaves it short, so on to their second serve. Susanna Barr with it.
1-1-2.
Nice angle right there from Strippoli as she reaches in and creates the great angle, pulling Quarter all the way off the court.
1-1-1.
Well, and it may seem like something small, but it was a much better return there from Gregorio, taking that middle, giving herself just a little bit more time to uncoil from the stack and putting her in a better position up at the kitchen line.
Susanna Barr with the overhead right underneath the paddle of Gregorio.
I mean, some great defense there from Gregorio just to get back to the kitchen line, but eventually the pop-up from Strippoli.
Just a nice drive there from Strippoli, catching Quarter as she's trying to uncoil. But again, on that previous point, it's the spot. It's that right armpit on the senior pro. Difficult to pick up that pace.
Oh, going for the around the post right there. But unfortunately clips the outside of the net post.
Another look here.
Yeah, good job by Strippoli taking that ball out of the air.
Susanna Barr getting up for the overhead winner. Gets the ball back on their side of the court.
Nice little run though here for Strippoli and Gregorio.
That time, Susanna Barr finally found the end of her luck with the net cord. Bounces off and out of bounds after doing it successfully, what, 3 times in game
3
one?
in a row in game 1.
3 in a row in game 1. She got some love off the net cord. Game 2, though, it's Strippoli and Grigoriu who have come out, gotten the lead.
That ball was going out.
Side
Yeah.
out.
Quarter trying to take the miraculous forehand flick behind her there.
3-1-1.
So,
Point.
and I'm curious with Barr. Like we occasionally see her miss a few balls, but we are playing with a different ball here. We're playing with the elbow, so it's there's a couple of external factors that are coming into effect here. Do you feel like Barr's trying to do just a little too much, playing with the unfamiliar ball, trying to really overswing?
4-1-2.
Sometimes a little bit it comes into play, and then she's trying to take over since they're down a little bit here. So
Side out.
well, that's what they need to do. They need to play through a drop shot, right, and get that slow pace, then speed it up, right? Like that right there. That's a great combo. If they allow
1-4-1.
Gregorio and Strippoli to create and dictate that pace, that's where they're falling behind.
Yeah, I don't like that speed up there from Quarter. She's been pushed back away from the kitchen line. Tough spot. Tries to just flick something off of the forehand, but you're not in a position where you can counter or even
1-4-2.
get a good swing off of that ball being so deep from the kitchen line.
And that's what they need to do right there. It's drop, come in, now we create from there. That's the formula they need to use right now.
2-4-2.
Second serve here for Quarter.
Side out.
Barr leaving the forehand a little low into the net.
Well, she anticipated she was going to take that out of the air and then let it bounce and got kind of
4-2-1.
handcuffed a little bit.
Oh, that was going to be disgusting if it went over the net.
Wow.
There was so much topspin on that ball. It was going to hit and kick.
4-2-2.
Another big
Side
forehand there from Quarter. You know, Strippoli has impressed me with her ability to take the ball out of the air on that forehand and really roll it cross court. I'd almost say for Barr and Quarter, you have to make her hit the backhand there. Just push that backhand back.
That ball pushed wide, so
serve.
it's a second serve now here for Barr and Quarter.
Yeah, I'd like to see Quarter try and find the inside foot
Yeah, the left foot.
of Strippoli in the
2-4-2.
middle right there instead of pulling her that wide like she just tried to do right there.
Side out.
Gregorio and Strippoli are finding a bit of rhythm here in the second game that they were not able to find in game 1. Chad, what do you think is the reason for that?
4-2-1.
Well, they're being more aggressive. They're putting more pressure on Barr and Quarter. In game 1, Barr and Quarter were controlling the pace, controlling the tempo.
Second serve.
And twice now Barr's got Gregorio on that
4-2-2.
left foot with an aggressive dink.
Well,
aggressive cross court.
Go middle,
foot.
pull her in middle, then find that left foot.
Now she doubles up in the middle.
Side out.
And Gregorio leaning to the sideline.
So another scoreless side out here. It's going to be Barr and Quarter with the chance
2-4-1.
to cut into this 2-point lead.
Oh,
Second serve.
stood straight up as she went to go hit that. And we talk about that ball stays low, got to get below that
2-4-2.
ball, bend those knees, stay down.
Oh, bounce it.
Side out.
And she said exactly that. Quarter, exactly repeating what Chad said. Explain what the difference would have been had she let it bounce.
Well, with that one there, and because you're moving so
4-2-1.
far back, that's a situation where you're a little unfamiliar with where your positioning is on the court. If that ball's going to land in, you're so far back that you're going to have time to let that ball bounce and then still hit a decent shot off of the bounce. Right there, quarter's going back. The ball's already behind her. Potentially hit an out ball there.
Wow.
Second serve.
Tomahawk, crack.
Whatever you want to call it.
The pretzel?
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to call that forehand from Barr right there.
Call whatever you want.
That's going to be called the pretzel.
I like the pretzel. Kind of had like the sweeping motion of.
Well, it was more that the body moved with it.
Right.
So she went into this like figure eight kind of deal.
Well, better job right there on that overhead. She'd missed one before. What does she do on this next one? She bends her knees, gets below the ball, and then gets on top of it instead of standing straight up and going right down into the net.
That ball out of bounds off the paddle of quarter. Second serve.
Two, 5-2.
2-5-2, the score for Barr's serve.
Oh, man.
Side out.
Again, quarter just kind of popping up through that.
Well, especially, too, where it's a deeper return. Your weight's back. You're falling back. You have to think more about the extension further out because that weight balance is going behind you. She kind of just hooks it across the body.
Point. Timeout receiver.
Susanna Barr calling a timeout on the court as Gregorio and Strippoli take a 6-2 lead here in game number 2. Best 2 out of 3. They dropped game 1, but with the lead here in game number 2. Well, I cannot believe it is already October, but we're not done here on the APP Tour. It's the Toyota upcoming schedule. Next week, we head to Dallas for the Dallas Open, and then at the end of the month, we head back to Southern California, Newport Beach for the Southern California Open, and in November, the Boca Raton Open. So visit the app.global for more information, and we hope to see you on the road here on the APP Tour throughout the rest of 2024 and into 2025. A lot of great events coming your way here on the APP Tour. Right now, we're in Columbus, Ohio, and so excited to be here for the inaugural APP Women's Open presented by the James. A really fun format. Chad, what has stood out to you about just how unique and special this event is?
Well, I mean, it's more so what it stands for and how much the James has done as far as furthering, the cancer treatment and the initiatives that they've taken. But to really put the women on a pedestal here, I'm a big proponent of women in sports, and really just showing what they bring to the table, because we talk about guys all the time and how athletic they are and everything, but women, I think, are juggling more things than men are in their lives.
I have no objectivity on this subject, but I would agree wholeheartedly. I am not an objective party here, but I would tend to agree with you on that. And as someone who has spent a lot of my career, obviously I was an athlete. I have covered a lot of women's sports throughout the last 10 plus years of my career, and it's so special to see the James doing what they're doing to highlight women in pickleball, with it being one of the fastest growing sports in the world. It's amazing to see a new sport sort of set the standard, whereas so many sports that have been around for longer, whether that's basketball or soccer or whatever it is, there's a catch-up process happening right now on the women's side of the game. And pickleball and the James and the APP Tour are sort of taking this stand early on and saying, no, we are here to advocate for women in sport, and it's really special to be a part of.
Well, and one thing in pickleball, and it's been since the inclusion of like the Pro Tours and specifically with the APP, I'll finish my thought here in a second.
There's some really good pickleball happening on the court as we're talking.
Absolutely.
Another
incredible.
offensive lob.
A little flick lob from Coulter. Again, she just hides it so well and uses all wrist to get that up and over.
But there's never been any disparity between earnings, between your highlighting matches and everything. It's always been very equal, and that's a big thing in our sport and with the APP. Oh no!
Oh, Susanna
Get
Barr.
out! Hey, can you hit it like just hit the top of the net though? It's the fact that it's hitting the bottom of the net cord.
Chad's literally talking to Susanna, who's right in front of our booth right now. But, you know, Chad, you and I hit on it all the time. What's our favorite event to call?
Oh, women's doubles.
We love women's doubles because the firefights, the battles, the hands. Like, the women at the highest level in pickleball are absolutely amazing to watch and so much fun. They put that energy in this sport. And it's nothing against the guys. The guys are great too, but Chad and I have been proponents of this for years, that our favorite draw to watch is the women's draw. We love it.
So much fun. As somebody who is a few years into this pickleball world, it's been one of my favorite aspects of covering pickleball here on the APP Tour, is just that it has felt so incredibly celebrated at every step, every tour stop, and even more so here at the APP Women's Open presented by the James, an inaugural event that we look forward to hopefully bringing you for years to come, because you have moments like this, catching you up on the action here in game number 2. It was a 6-2 lead, a 7-2 lead here at one point for Strippoli and Grigoriu, but Susanna Barr and Sherry Quarter said, hold on a minute, and now it's a tie game, 7-7-2. Barr with the serve and a chance to take their first lead here in this second game.
Just missing, yep.
But you want to talk about court usage there. Barr and Quarter are going sideline to sideline. They're set. Gregorio and Strippoli are scrambling. They're just trying to get balls back, and they can't put the pressure on Barr and Quarter. That has been the difference in that 5-point run, is that Barr and Quarter turned on and became the aggressive team, really put the pressure on, and we see another good forehand there from Quarter.
I don't mind the drive from Strippoli, but the middle, you have to go. You have to recognize that both their backhands are in the middle. She throws that right to the Quarter forehand, which is her strength.
7-7-2.
Just recognition right there.
Sorry, Strippoli serving the ball here. Quarter into the net on the backhand.
Yeah, if Barr had hit that one, it would have gone over.
I know they say that the net shows no favorites, but I'm not going to lie. This match, it has felt like Barr is the favorite here. It's a 1-point lead now for Strippoli and Grigoriu. Can they extend it on this serve? And they can, as Barr leaves the drop a little bit short. 9-7, excuse me.
Well, another good spot there from Strippoli, going between the feet of Barr. Doesn't give her the ability to really get extended or create a sharp angle. Yikes.
That time, Grigoriu on the attack, and she had that one dialed in.
Yeah, she jumps that in the middle beautifully, reading a good drop, and all of a sudden, game point, game 2.
7-2.
Grigoriu and Strippoli complete the win here in game 2. They turned into the aggressor in order to get the win. So game 3 to decide it all and who moves on when we come back to the APP Women's Open presented by the James.
You choose the James at Ohio State. You're choosing access to the James, dedicated support services, and an unmatched survivorship program.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Less is more, unless it's less beer.
Sports Imports, we believe in the power of play. From the first time you step on the court to the thrill of competition, we know that fostering your passion leads to embracing your power, and that the love for the game doesn't fade with time. We're committed to building community beyond the net, because no matter what side of the net you're on, the spirit of community is always in play.
At Typical Insurance, you're just another senior.
That is the third health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental, all in my budget. I finally feel in control. What are you doing?
Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
The APP is sponsored by Fat Tire, crisp, bright, easy drinking, Central Ohio Toyota dealers, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, reminding you to get this season's flu and COVID-19 vaccines. Madalena Grigoriu and Alka Strippoli take game 2 here in our best 2 out of 3. So let's play this third game. Dom, what impressed you about the way Strippoli and Grigoriu were able to handle business?
Well, Grigoriu got much more aggressive. I like that from her. She has to be that, especially when you have Strippoli hitting great drops, great dinks. She's being aggressive with the drop and the dink. Grigoriu just needs to go for it. That's it.
0-0-2.
So it's going to be Strippoli with the serve to get us started here in this third game, which will decide who moves on to the semifinals. Barr,
that's
aggressive early.
And I think it is. Saying she's hitting great drop, she's a high drop. But again, I think who can jump out early here?
0-0-1.
That's going to be the difference here. Who can come out strong at the beginning of game 3?
Each of these games has been sort of dictated by who makes the early run. In game number 1, it was a 7-0 run by Barr and Quarter that set them up to take the win. And then in game number 2, it was Strippoli and Grigoriu who had the 7-2 lead that they ended up turning into a game win.
There it is again, Chad. Is that what we're calling?
We're calling it
It's like a windshield.
Gave her a
wiper.
shot.
It's kind of the other
named a bar.
That one wasn't. That one was just a regular like tomahawk.
2-0-1.
She wasn't fully.
Wasn't falling over.
I think the stand-up Scorpion was a little more windshield wiper than it was Scorpion.
Well, the windshield wiper is when you go this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, a high windshield wiper.
Wiper.
That was an extended windshield wiper.
Where's our vocabulary? We're going to put together a glossary of terms here. Make it a social series. Complete with reenactments.
Each of them called it mine, yours, mine before either one of them went for it. And again, for them, they played together before. They need to fix this.
3-0-2.
If they don't fix this, it could be an issue moving through.
On their second serve with a 3-0 lead.
Oh, she looks over.
I think she heard us
right
talking
over
about
us,
how well Susanna Barr had done to utilize the net cord. And she said, you know what, I can do it too, actually.
Yeah, right.
So it's a 4-0 lead here.
It's by osmosis, right? When you play with her, you get more, it feels like, right?
It's a 4-0 lead here for Barr and Quarter. And like we talked about, it has been in the last 2 games who gets this early lead, who ends up winning the game. So what do Grigoriu and Strippoli need to do to make sure that history does not repeat itself?
Well, I mean, right now you're just seeing Barr and Quarter are taking charge with the thirds. They're not getting too aggressive. Before, what got them in that game 2 hole was they were trying to play too fast off the third shot. And then all of a sudden it was they had to serve and then it was gone. And right now they're slowly getting to the line. They're dropping that ball in, then creating that pace. Grigoriu and Strippoli need to disrupt that pace. They need to come out. And right now you're down 4-0, I believe.
4-0.
4-0. They need to come out kind of guns blazing here.
Side out.
Yeah, Quarter trying to slide that one down the line. We talked about earlier where Gregorio and Strippoli needed to try to expose Quarter out wider. Now I think they need to go back and pinch Barr and Quarter back to the middle, because that's where we've seen the miscommunication. That's where we've seen Quarter kind of staying out a little bit wider now, hitting that inside out forehand cross court rather than trying to roll the backhand. Ooh, that's the step over.
Yeah, Quarter tries to step over and take that. She's not feeling that Barr was there.
1-4-2.
So Gregorio and Strippoli get on the board here in this third game.
She jumped as she goes to hit that, and as she's jumping, she rolls over the top of it. It's halfway up the net.
4-1-1.
I want Quarter to step aside, let Barr take that. She crashes. That was game one game plan. It worked perfectly. They got away from it in game two.
Or if she's going to go with that drop, just go with a little less pace. Right now she's hitting it a little too hard. It's going deep.
Great spot there. Susanna Barr down the middle for the winner.
In the hands on Sherry Quarter, don't go to sleep on. I thought she was burnt on the speed up from Barr, and then Grigoriu counters it, but Quarter just resets it perfectly.
Oh, Gregorio on the attack and finally finds a spot.
Well, I almost said that first ball, she should have slid to the left and hit the forehand instead of, just hitting that high backhand there. But she made the adjustment, finished with a couple of nice big forehands. She doesn't lack power, that's for sure.
That's a great change of pace spot in the middle. Chad's talking about pulling that string on the changeup right there. Looked like she was going to rip it, and then
1-5-2.
just rolled it nicely.
Susanna Barr again with the aggressive winner to force the side out.
Yeah, it's a good combination there from Barr. She goes crossbody on Gregorio, gets her jammed up on the backhand, which creates the pop-up, and then takes that back through the middle.
5-1-1. Second serve.
Patience.
Yeah,
Grasshopper.
that's just not the shot right there.
5-1-2.
Quarter with the second serve.
Point. Timeout. Change ends.
That's the type of points that you
6-1-2.
don't want to give away there.
1 minute.
Missed returns.
On the end change.
On the end change.
So on the end change, it is Barr and Quarter up 6-1 here in this third game. UTR has unveiled the official pickleball rating system of the USA Pickleball and the APP. Get your rating today at utrsports.net. We are coming to you live from Columbus, Ohio at the Pickle and Chill for the inaugural APP Women's Open presented by the James. Susanna Barr and Sherry Quarter. If history is any indication of future reality, Barr and Quarter like the result right now on the end change because they're up 6-1, and whoever has gone on that early lead in the previous two games has gone on to win them.
Well, and the big thing here down the stretch for Barr and Quarter, don't change what you've been doing that's giving you the 5-point lead right now. Stay aggressive on the right ball, but control the point from the kitchen line.
Confusion in the middle there between Barr and Quarter. Ball pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, Barr's just too extended on that ball. Can't
1-6-1.
do anything but push it when she's that extended.
Again, Barr staying compact is a good job.
Yeah, great call right there, AJ. She sits through that shot, right? She gets nice and low. When she gets low through that, like, it just creates so much more power and accuracy.
Right out.
She didn't pull a string on that one. She pulled the trigger on that one.
Pulled the trigger on that one right at the left foot.
6-1-1.
Oh, great hands from Grigoriu right there. Looked like she was in trouble, and she bails herself out and then gets a little love off the tape.
So it's a second serve here. Barr with it.
That's a much better drop there from Quarter. And again, she didn't rush herself and just took a breath, dropped it nice, worked her way in.
Good spot.
Great spot there from Quarter. Finds a little spot, the point of contention.
Well, with that ball bouncing so high right there, she has the time to be able to wait for Grigoriu to commit to one side or the other. She leans a little bit to the sideline.
That's how Barr staying aggressive with the forehand, and it's a 9-1 lead here in for Barr and Quarter in game number 3 out of the end change. They just continued to build on the strategy that got them the lead in the first place.
We had a discussion with Susanna last night. We watched her play singles yesterday, Chad, a little bit. When we watch her play singles, her ground strokes are very clean. She rarely hits a ball in the net. She takes very good ground strokes, keeps it in, and hits a heavy ball. When she goes into doubles, she doesn't drive a lot at all, right? And so I had a discussion. I'm like, what? We need to figure out a mindset between the two.
Get rid of the other people on the side of the court.
Right, exactly, because her drive is
because
good
it happens
in
for everybody.
singles, but in doubles it almost gets a little tight where she goes away from it and is all drop. And so trying to find that happy medium now between a drive in doubles and going from singles.
But I think that happens for the majority of players, right? So you're playing singles or you're just hitting ground strokes and you're going corner to corner. You see so much court and you're like, oh, I have so much room. I can be loose and just hit my drive. And then you get into doubles and all of a sudden there's 2 people on the other side. You don't see open court, so you feel like you have to hit a smaller target. You get tighter and you're not able to execute the drive the same. And we see it right there as well, where she's hesitating. That's a ball where you see that shorter return, step up, hit through it, follow behind it, rather than being like super stiff and almost robotic.
Susanna Barr again, compact, gets the ball, gets her paddle above her head, and pushes them onto their second serve.
1-10-2.
Good pressure there from Quarter and Barr. Never letting that ball bounce, never allowing Gregorio or Strippoli to get even into transition area.
10-1-1.
And so it's match point opportunity here for Quarter and Barr. And it's Susanna Barr who delivers the final blow in this women's doubles match. A strong forehand to get the win and punch their ticket into the semifinals of the APP Women's Open presented by the James. We'll be right back.
At the Botanist, we always look further, seeing potential where others may not. We sustainably hand forage 22 Isla Botanicals to make a beautifully balanced gin, capturing the essence of our Scottish island home. Consciously crafted by our community to be enjoyed by yours. Look further.
Since I've been using Leo Rubber, I've had way less problem on my AT band and hip. If I had to describe it in a few words, I would say it's a must, it's effective, and it's stylish.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour.
At AARP volunteer and community events, they'll keep Greg active, involved, and mischievous, and help make sure his happiness lives as long as he does. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
And we'll take a look back at match point for Quarter and Barr. Excellent get there from Sherry Quarter with the two-hand flick over the back, and then Barr steps over and finishes with the big forehand. We're going to throw it down to Dominic Catalano for our post-match interview.
All right, Susanna, I'll start with you. Again, a battle right there. Game 2, you guys go down 7-2. What's the timeout discussion where you guys kind of put it on a roll in that second game?
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about just play our game, right? We don't need to worry about our opponents. We just, we've got great chemistry and we're having a lot of fun. And so we just had to come back out and just be us.
And again, you guys roll in game 3. It looked like you executed the game plan, drop, crash, let the opportunity happen. Was that your guys' game plan going in, Sherry?
I think our game plan is to play our game, but yeah, we both have great thirds and we're both aggressive. So that is the game plan.
And we hit a lot of net cords.
Yeah, I mean, a lot.
You guys did hit an unordinary amount of net cords. But again, and then this weekend for both of you ladies, what's it mean for you to have an all-women's tournament, the first one, and hopefully one of many coming up for the APP?
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing opportunity. It's so much fun to see all these women out here. Everybody's honestly in pretty good mood. We're all competitive. We want to win, but I see a lot of the women just really supporting each other, which is awesome.
Yes, and then we're playing for a great cause. I lost my mother-in-law to cancer years ago, so she's in my heart today with my husband. And I do have a dear friend that is a cancer survivor, Sherry. You know who you are. You're a beast, so I'm playing out here for you. And it's great to be around the women. It's important.
All right, well, congratulations, ladies. Moving on to the semifinals. We'll take a quick break here on Championship Court and have our next matchup here in Columbus, Ohio at the APP Women's Open.